Welcome to Golfers HQ Academy, and today we're going to focus on improving your wedge play. And I've got a simple drill and a simple focus which can help you to strike your wedges better. Okay, so what we're trying to do and how we hit our wedges really solid, and what the top guys do is they manage to be able to get this impact position. Their hands are just slightly ahead of the ball. They're going to strike the ball, and then the club's going to go into the turf afterwards. They're going to hit this on the down. Okay, so they're going to hit this. They're going to hit the ball first, and the club's going to start going down into the ground. What that does is that gives them a great strike. They can control their trajectory from here, and it doesn't puff up in the air so much. What we tend to do is sometimes we can hit a really good drive within 100 yards of the green, and we have a tendency to puff it up into the air or hit our sand wedge and our lob wedges way too short. They go up and they land short of the green, or we go on the other end of the spectrum and we still swing up on it and we hit the bottom of the club and it goes sailing through the back of the green into the trees. Both you ended up with a 6, 7 or 8 from a really good tee shot. So if we can improve that ball striking, almost feel like we're keeping the ball flight a little bit more down, the strike is correct, then we're going to improve our score massively. So I'm just going to give you a little focus, something to think about when you're on the driving range to try and help facilitate that hands ahead of the ball at impact, which is what we all desire. Okay, so we're going to focus on transferring our weight with your right shoulder. So you're going to focus on what your right shoulder does in the downswing to try and get that club onto the back of the ball in the correct manner. Okay, so what we're going to try and work on, and what the drill is going to be, okay, so I want you to take your setup. So you're going to set up normally, and you're going to have your hands hanging down underneath your chin. So then what you're going to do is you're going to change where this alignment stick on the floor sits. So I want this directly underneath my hands. Okay, so I want it a little bit closer. Now this, in between the alignment stick and my mid-drift, is where my hands are allowed to operate now. That's why I'm going to focus on my shoulder. Okay, and I'm going to focus on where my shoulder goes into the downswing and into the through swing. Okay, the tendency for us with wedges is to get this right shoulder moving forward, get these hands out here. Notice how my right shoulder's come out in front of this alignment stick, and then from there we're always going to release it early, and we're always going to get this weak position here where the club starts to work up on the ball, and you're going to get those flights where they go way too high, come up short, or go too far. So we're going to try and drive our right shoulder through into our left hand side, into our left heel, whilst keeping it underneath our chin. So I want, in our impact position, in the ideal world, I want us to swing down the target line, this right shoulder underneath my chin, working down so my hand path is correct, and I can swing down through the target line, get my weight aggressively onto my left hand side without having any manipulation. So the club path is correct, the angle of attack is correct, and you're going to strike your wedges a lot better. So all we're going to focus on is I've got my hands just hanging straight down, and I'm just going to focus on trying to cover the ball with my right shoulder, keep my right shoulder underneath my chin, keep my right shoulder in between the alignment stick and my body rotation, and notice how my club's going to come in nice and steeply, and I can swing down the target line from here. So we're going to focus on getting that right shoulder over to your left heel, okay, and rotating completely out the way. Okay, so right shoulder over to your left heel, and we're going to just try and rotate completely out the way. We're going to try and avoid this right shoulder getting too far on top of the ball and the club working out, and we're getting to that scoopy position. Okay, we're going to try and work this right shoulder aggressively over to our left heel whilst keeping it inside this alignment stick. So the club path is correct, we're steepening the attack angle, we're driving onto our left hand side aggressively, and we're going to keep that ball flight down a little bit, ball then turn. So here goes, I'm going to hit a couple. So hands hanging just inside the alignment stick on the floor, and I'm focused on trying to get my right shoulder in the downswing over to my left foot without this right shoulder coming too far forward. Here we go. So notice how this right shoulder's worked beautifully underneath my chin. My hands have worked nice and down. My weight is onto my left hand side, and I've struck the ball and then the turf. Okay, so I'm going to go one more. So I'm just going to work on that right shoulder, working underneath my chin, over to my left heel, and not allowing this right shoulder to get too far forward so I can drive through to the target. Here we go, one more. Hands underneath my chin. I'm going to try and recreate that position at impact and try and keep this right shoulder working underneath and through to my left heel. Here we go. The right shoulder working down to the target, inside my left heel, weight on my left heel when I strike, working aggressively down the target line, keeping that right shoulder in between the alignment stick and me and not allowing it to go up and around. So focus on that right shoulder, move it aggressively over to your left heel and try and get that ball flight coming out a little bit lower. So ball, then turf. Click the subscribe button, lots more videos coming in.